release the TECTONE files. If you guys don't know, right now, we got Mizkif and TECTONE going at it. Made a video yesterday covering the, what's it called? Hearsay, right? Because right now, we don't have the receipts. We have two content creators that fucking hate each other from the drama from the past. If you don't know, go watch this video. But context, TECTONE is being accused of some serious sexual assault allegations. People are calling him nasty names like Rape Tone. And people have been wondering, why hasn't he streamed for all this time? Where is he? Is it really mental health issues, or is it because of the court order that he may violate if he goes live and make a mistake, right? And he literally got let go from Mythic Talent yesterday. Bro literally got let go of the talent agency that was also associated with OTK adjacent stuff, and a lot of people are kind of saying that it's already been done, right? Let's read some of the comments before. Actually, you know what? No, let's read the comments a little bit later. A lot of people have this notion that TECTONE is right now in the middle of like a paid agenda operative for Mizkif's goons, and all the words are fraudulent. We have tweets like this coming out, right? We have tweets like this coming out saying, anyone who thinks Mizkif, ooh, good one, is a reliable source of information needs a reality check. And you know what? I'm going to say it right here first. What Mizkif did to Emiru and shit, that's fucked up. Absolutely. If we're talking about content creators and my likeness of their content, I much prefer TECTONE's content over Mizkif. I'm a big enjoyer of Baldi's gotcha content and the drama content that he's been basically using to rise up. While Mizkif's always been just fucking around with collabs with random OnlyFans girls, it's just like, what are we fucking doing, right? But this is a narrative. People will not believe Mizkif when he sent 7 hours of, he basically prepared 7 hours of notes. He had his paid agents go to the court and document for 7 hours of notes, and he has them. And yesterday on stream, he showed them. Today, I want to go over the hearsay and make sense of it. And here's the thing. A lot of people will immediately denounce this based off of the content creator saying it. Because it's Mizkif saying it, it's all fucking bullshit. What if I told you there exists a reality where Mizkif can be in the wrong, but his notes are right? And TECTONE could be in the wrong too. We don't know. We have to wait for the official transcripts to come out. Right now it's Sunday, right? Apparently the official transcripts are going to come out in the first couple business days of this following week. And here's another thing I have to ask you. When Mizkif right now is in such a disgraced position, bro has been outcasted, bro has been kicked out, all of his old pals, community, friendship stuff burn up because of the drama. Do you really think he would put himself in a situation where he's caught lying? Like, the idea here is there's a bunch of notes that we're going to go through, which is very fucked up. Do you really think that he would make this shit up when he is so fucking confident when he has agents taking note? It could be true, but I just feel like in terms of playing this game of trying to come out on top and making each other look bad, it's very unlikely that Mizkif would jump the gun and make up a bunch of fucking lies. Keep having your cringe ass muse and protecting TECTONE. Gonna look very good in a few days with the transcripts, right? He's extremely confident. It could be just bullshit. It could be sheer retardation. Bro, it's so gross how you treated Emiru, and you should learn when to shut up. And you know what? You're right about that. The way you acted in clips is embarrassing, like a fucking baby. You're the worst type of man if that's what you would be called. You're closer to a worm. Seek therapy. I mean that honestly. But here's the thing, Nianis. You're not confronting the ideas presented. Like, I agree with you that he did some vile shit to Emiru. That is a fact. But it doesn't change that, like, this shit could be true. This is a kick VOD of Mizkif's from yesterday. And basically, in this VOD where he went live, right? I was there. I literally turned, I'm basically done with my stream, and I'm like, this dude said he's gonna fucking drop the nuke. Where is it? He went live. So I'll summarize it. In the first couple of, Jesus fucking Christ. Baldi, again, right, is in the sexual assault allegation against a creator called Pinkchu, right? And Pinkchu has been keeping silent about this shit, taking it, basically, Baldi has said she is the nastiest OnlyFans girl, and she's making this shit up because how they broke up. Mizkif starts off with basically going through an entire character assassination of TECTONE by bringing in relevant context with his past wife, with his current girlfriend or ex-girlfriend, to kind of like establish the fact that this is a chronicle liar, right? So he's doing all this setup to portray like this is the kind of person he is, this is the relationship that he's had with other people, and how performative and a lie that he could be. Whether or not you want to believe or not, I don't care. I'm explaining to you that like this is how the stream started. He basically then has this, okay? He has this notepad where he summarizes all of the different context that he's built up. And the summary here is, dad went to jail in 2011, was on TV. People tweeted at him for years about this. TECTONE said he didn't know. TECTONE said he was abusive, held a gun to his head. We're talking about his dad. Still brought him around to his friends and women and Emmy. Told Emmy his dad he was hot. It got weird. Apparently, his dad might be gooning to Emiru, and they were very openly casual about it. Again, these type of things don't really, like, obviously he's trying to create this character of a liar and a sex pest, but again, these aren't receipts of what he did to Pinkchu or not. Fareem, again, previous wife, accused him of abuse, accused him of sexual assault. Pinkchu, the girl that's in the context right now with the court case, used her to make people think Fareem was insane, used her to make people think it's insane that Fareem was suing him. Basically, Pinkchu like defended TECTONE when his ex-wife was shitting on him for all the stuff that happened, right? And a lot of people are like, why would Pinkchu suddenly turn now, right? Isn't she just a liar? Like, why would she support him? And now, and Mizkif is trying to build up a case of like, she didn't know what the fuck she's doing, and that she got misled and I don't know, fucking groomed. I don't know, right? And here's some extra context, right? Why TECTONE hates me. If you guys don't know, basically like, here's some stupid drama. This is actually fucking crazy drama. Why TECTONE hates me. 1-to-1, he said he... Wait, come on, show me the notes. That's the court case stuff. I want to cover the stupid drama, high school drama stuff first, though. Hold up. 1 second. Come on. Why TECTONE hates me. 1-to-1 said he likes lolly VTuber gacha games, and he said I called him a pedo or something. He does, but attacked me for it. I apologized and said it's okay. He did a tier list on lolly VTuber gacha stuff. I think that's also when... What's her name? Fucking Klee from Genshin Impact. Klee from Genshin Impact. Yeah. Honestly, these were the good days, though. These were honestly the good fucking days. When we used to cover gacha content, and he would spend so much money on the staff of Homa, and he got fucked, and Mihoyo had to come up with like a new pity system for the weapon because of TECTONE specifically. But there's a lolly, and you know, there's a lot of drama happening, and shit went wrong. Also, he said I made him pay $300,000 for a loan and charged extra. This is false. I had him pay $5,000 in fees. $300,000, by the way, this is the context of when TECTONE is moving to Texas, right? He's a Canadian. He moved countries for his career to join OTK, which was the biggest and brightest upcoming group ever for talent, for streamers, and Mizkif basically lent him $300,000, and then TECTONE kind of said it was predatory. The context is, this is false. I didn't pay $5,000 in fees, extra for a $300,000 loan. I gave him in cash in just a week because I wanted to have him live near me because I thought he was going to be my friend and join OTK. TECTONE paying me like a retard in PayPal who takes fees, so TECTONE can paying fees like a retard and blame me for that. Again, I have no clue. This is just Mizkif's side of the story. We'll have to wait to see if Baldi thinks this is right or not. And that's the other thing too. Baldi literally can't defend himself. Baldi genuinely can't defend himself because I think that if he talked about the court case or Pinkchu in any way, that's like violating his court order. If you violate that, I think it might convert into like an actual criminal thing. I don't know. So we're in a very tricky situation where all these supposed receipts are coming out. Again, I do believe that Mizkif wouldn't fuck around with this. I don't think in the situation that he's in that he would literally make up a lie when he's so blatantly just in this shitty situation to make a situation worse. The incentives don't line up. I think this is a man with a mission that has a hatred for TECTONE and wants to bring him down with him and is confident in the notes that he took. He hated me because I was dating Emmy. This is a big part, right? Emiru. True, he liked Emiru and hated I was dating her. Him and his dad would say weird shit allegedly. Again, who knows? Hated me because Russell threw a pool party in my backyard. Holy shit, the grammar. Russell threw it, bro. His ex-girlfriend came over, Pink Chew. I shook her hand. He then went around Austin and said I grabbed her hand for such a long time and was so weird and told everyone I'm weird as fuck for that, making people hate me. These are a bunch of 30-year-old men. These are a bunch of 30-year-old out-of-touch millionaires that stream video games and watch, such as myself, right? But damn, like, high school just doesn't change. It is high school drama. It never fucking changes. I mean, you look at Trump, you look at the way that he's handling media press, that's also high school drama. It never leaves us. We may get older, but we're the same fucking monkeys inside. He said, I'm the reason he got kicked from OnlyFans. Again, context for this is a World of Warcraft guild. I know it sounds crazy to you, but you need to have context as like a parasocial viewer like me that understands everything, okay? OnlyFans is obviously a wordplay off of OnlyFans, right? OnlyFans was a guild name of World of Warcraft hardcore server. Every once a year, right, they have this annual event where it's fun to get all the content creators and sweaty World of Warcraft players to play hardcore World of Warcraft, and it's a big movement, right? I don't know if you guys know of like the OTV Rust campaigns, right? Stuff like that. It's like an annual event, and there's some drama happening where TECTONE got kicked out of the guild. He said, I'm the reason he got kicked from OnlyFans. This is false. Chance made the reason, again, Soda Poppin', another streamer, made the decision and it was unanimous by everyone. TECTONE blamed me because he wanted everyone to just hate me and put the blame me with this chat, so they targeted me. I literally just messaged Chance and said, what are we going to do about TECTONE? Chance said, I kicked him from the guild. A little bit fun context beyond this is how Mizkif felt very insecure about how Emiru would go live and would have more viewers than him. This is also a fact, right? During the Rust and like World of Warcraft shit, Mizkif would get so insecure and upset that his girlfriend would go live at the same time or like play a similar class and get more viewership, and he would like go in and out of like her room being passive aggressive. Like, this is how much of a loser shit they've been engaging in. But anyways, here's the fucking stupid drama back context, right? Again, is it true or not? This is his story. Now we're getting into the sweaty shit. What we're about to read is the supposed transcript that Mizkif has paid his goons to basically, you know, come out and just say, right? So I'm going to be reading these transcripts here. Apparently, these words will be coming out in the next couple of days. We're waiting on that, right? And again, I just can't believe that he would be so fucking stupid, even though he has been very stupid, to fuck himself over even more in this perilous position. It just doesn't make sense. I think that he does have the valid receipts and he's being very confident about it. Why would you tell her you can talk about your experiences, but my client cannot talking about her experiences when she doesn't name you? TECTONE. And this is like in court. This is like what's happening. This is also one script. Apparently there's a lot more that Mizkif is going to be dropping throughout the next couple of days. It's really funny how all his drama thunder got stolen by the ICE shooting that happened in Minneapolis. Rest in peace. I don't think I need to make a video about that. That's a pretty clear cut and dry execution of an ICU nurse. That fucking sucks. I think I should be held accountable. I saw many different versions of that. To say that he was brandishing, obstructing justice, I think bro was filming and ICE got heated and then he was also carrying and then shit spiraled out of hand. Why would you tell her you can talk about your experiences, but my client cannot talking about her experiences when she doesn't name you? TECTONE. Well, one, because it didn't happen, and two, because everyone knew what she was talking about me. All right. And can you tell me if this is your, if you ever make her write words on her face? Yes. Okay. And obviously this is currently the conversation between TECTONE and the lawyer, someone that's representing Pink Chew. Okay. And how many times did you record her? We're talking about sexual acts. TECTONE, a lot. And how many times did you tell you, no, I don't want to be recorded? Never. So right here, Pink Chew is recording content with TECTONE. Pink Chew is also a sex worker doing OnlyFans content. It makes sense that she would be confident in this type of content with somebody that she's close with. She's literally his roommate, and this is the context. He recorded a lot of videos with him and her. She never once said, I don't want to be recorded, to his words. How many times did you actually agree to be recorded? Every time she'd hold a camera. And tell me this, you made a reference, I hope this is interesting. about she tried to have a conversation with you about non-consensual versus consensual, and if it made you uncomfortable, so you didn't want to discuss it. Oh, so she said she would be okay with consensual versus non-consensual. So again, the guy is pressing TECTONE more about how, like, Pinkchu is trying to bring up this fact that, like, she might be uncomfortable with it, about the whole consent thing. Even though, right, even though she herself has basically never said no to recording, regarding the consent and non-consent conversation, looks like it was a gray area that was left alone. TECTONE, because he was so bored and he didn't want to have vaginal intercourse. This part is very interesting. A lot of people right now are spreading nicknames of Microtone on Twitter. I remember back in the day, TECTONE had a stream and he talked about his private sex life and how he was a blowjob enthusiast, but he was terrified of vaginas. I remember that. Like, straight up, I think that if there's someone sweaty enough to go through the VODs, they could find it. That is a distinct thing that I remember. I was like high as fuck, just chilling out, just watching a stream on the other side, maybe playing some gacha games. And then I heard that and I was like, what? Bro scared of pussy? What is this trauma? Anyways, just some stuff there. All right, and what did you have her write on her forehead? TECTONE, I never had her write slut, but I did have her write come in here with an arrow pointing down. Well, this is getting freaky. This is some like hentai shit. This is literally some doujin material, huh? Extreme kinky degradation stuff, freaky stuff. Freaktone. Now, does this insinuate that he is raping her? That he's sexually assaulting her? If two adults are consenting to freaky sex, then that's just freaky sex. I'm not going to be kink shaming, but that's what's been going on. And did you tell you would have vaginal intercourse with her if she did this and have a normal relationship? Never. No. That was just dressing up. That's a degrading thing to do to a woman. Is that correct? Well, obviously, but some people get off on that. Like, degradation fetish is a thing. TECTONE. Oh, she would frequently cosplay herself. Oh, so she would frequently degrade herself? How does an outfit the same as writing derogatory statements on someone's face to come here? Again, I think this conversation is kind of silly about her wearing cosplays and giving TECTONE head while having face paint that says come in here. Again, it's just some freaky stuff with consenting adults. I don't know. I guess I didn't really see it as degrading, and it was also kind of her idea to make things on the bedroom. So right here, it was also kind of her idea to make things in the bedroom. So isn't that maybe the problem, Mr. Robertson? That she views what you did as non-consensual and you just didn't see it that way. TECTONE. I think if I was ever informed a single time that was wrong, I would immediately say, well then let's not do it, to be completely honest. So up till this point, how do you guys feel about it? I feel like TECTONE is just into some freaky stuff and has found a partner that is accommodating to the freaky stuff, and they're having a Diddy party. Not a Diddy party. They're having a freak off, right? They're getting freaky in bed so far. With the bit of questionable part about how Pinkchu wanted to confront him about consent versus non-consent and how that was kind of left in the gray. But so far, it doesn't really feel like, okay, nothing is so red flag. Okay, but that's not true. You actually would sit her down with the whiteboard and go over everything to convince her that she was wrong, right? This is where it gets kind of weird. So, okay, sit down, Nick. The idea here is TECTONE would bring up a whiteboard with like this is like this feels like a fucking football game in the middle of a match, like fucking basketball, like timeout. I got a whiteboard. Let me break down the play here. Like, you are going to be wearing the cosplay. You consent to having freaky face paint, right? Or are we good with this? Like, in the middle of them freaking off, suddenly it's like whiteboard. No. Wait, okay. TECTONE, I'm failing to see how these two connect. But I don't understand in what regard we have talked about with the whiteboard. Well, I think that the suggestion here is this like very weird power dynamic of a girl that wants to bring up consent versus non-consent that gets left out, that then perhaps is getting gaslit by TECTONE about what consent even is through a whiteboard. So at this point, basically the due diligence is Pinkchu has to be a fucking retard for this to make sense. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's read some of them more, but I'll develop on my idea later, okay? Yeah, and you would sit her down with the whiteboard in whatever position she was taking that you all were disagreeing on, correct? If we were having an argument and not seeing eye to eye, and we weren't seeing eye to eye, visual aid really helped her, as well as her to me. Okay, you know what corrosive control is, right? Yes. It does feel like a hentai plot. Bro is watching hentai too much. So, basically, this is the most condemning part of the transcript, I guess, for this chapter, where the notion is Pinkchu is too fucking retarded to understand what consent or not consent may be, and TECTONE, the one in the position of power, is gaslighting her about what consent is through his whiteboard. There are, again, two ways you could view this. Either Pinkchu is truly stupid and has no idea, and TECTONE is like, goddamn bitch, you're really hot, but you're getting kind of on my nerves right now in this freak session, and now I have to explain to you why this is okay. That is a reality. This is crazy, I know, this is fucking insane. Like, it's either that, or Pinkchu is being taken advantage of because she doesn't know anything. She does feel like this is non-consensual, but she is stuck in TECTONE's house. I mean, she could just leave, but is it that simple? Does she have money? I don't know about her livelihood. But basically the context of this is Pinkchu was not paying rent at TECTONE's place. She was like, as someone that was helping him make thumbnails and other house duties, which then escalated into sexual favors. And in that kind of power dynamic, people are trying to portray a misrepresentation of power, or even though TECTONE is towing the line and explaining to her this is right, that she felt stuck and she got abused is a way that a lot of people are just kind of going off with that. Yeah, power dynamic and pressure, and that's why a lot of people are, or the lawyer right now is coming with corrosive control, right? And the Mizkif just standing up. So, right here. And you told her that she has memory problems, right? I believe we have had discussions on her memory not being as sharp as it's actually. I'm sure we've had conversations about memory aids. And because you believe that her memory recollection, because of what she is saying now, is false and incorrect, right? TECTONE, I believe her current memory happen is incorrect? Yes, is that what you're saying? So now there's this other aspect of Pinkchu not being able to remember shit. It's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you literally are unable to remember because now, doesn't this kind of, and it gets messy, because now you could use this to help TECTONE's side, as in, she has dementia. She don't know shit. That TECTONE is being gaslit off of a hateful woman because she's retarded and can't remember. Or TECTONE is taking advantage of a retarded girl with dementia. This is crazy. Like, the implications of what is coming out for defense, it's fucking weird. Let's keep going. Your ex-wife made some pretty awful allegations against you, didn't she? TECTONE. She did, but she didn't know they were lying. Well, now remember, you have an NDA. It's in the court order. Okay, but you had some pretty serious allegations that she made against you. This is again regarding to Freem, right? The previous wife. TECTONE. And so you learn from that marriage that what can happen when false allegations, well, not false, I don't know if they were true or not, but you knew how to handle allegations like that from your first marriage, correct? Oh man, this is some sleazy ass fucking lawyer talk, huh? Basically, like, do you see the way that this is like baiting TECTONE? I love this actually. Like, again, I view this as a game, no matter how fucked up it is, of like, he's like setting him up of like, all right, you've been in a similar situation. You have gone through allegations. So surely this iteration, you won't be fucking up and you're going to play your cards right? It's professional rage baiting. All right, TECTONE. Well, I don't think I handled those problems pretty well. I think I handled those pretty bad. But you definitely knew how to handle it when you had my client in your house, right? I'm not sure why you'd ask that. Oh, I know you. Of course you know why you're. Oh, this is some fucking professional rage baiting. God damn, bro. It's actually crazy how much the lawyers just gotta, come on, admit it. Yeah, this is some death note shit. Well, I'm not sure why I'd ask that. Well, tell me this. How many times did you go to her and ask her for medications? Huh? Did you tell her what things to tell her parents to prescribe certain medications? TECTONE. I wanted to make sense of what was going on in her head and she wanted it. I would try to help with her and say, well, maybe it's this, and tell her and what she should get. I would definitely try to help her with her medications. And what pharmaceutical background do you have to be giving her aside some medications? I definitely do not have any background, but you couldn't help yourself with your own. Yes, I've had horrible experiences with my medications. I think the lawyer here is trying to insinuate that TECTONE might be drugging her. Like, basically, like, the worst case, like, scenario here is bro is trying to, like, I don't know, like, diet roofie her so that she is in this drug state where he can control her using this medication stuff. I have no fucking clue. Yeah, I think this is an extension off of the memory issue, I think, too, and perhaps other mental health issues, right? The lawyer is obviously trying his best to frame TECTONE in the worst way possible, obviously, because that's his job. This part is... So that basically is the end of the first chapter regarding the sexual assault. So how do you guys feel about it? I think that... Let's just, like... Think about, this is the real transcripts that came out. What would you have to say about this? I would personally say it's still very ambiguous. Because the act of consent versus non-consent is still in the gray area. Yeah, two crazy people in a relationship, right? They're getting freaky. They be consuming way too much hentai indulgence. They be reenacting cosplay freaky sex in the bedroom. There is this weird part about them, like, TECTONE not, like, basically avoiding the consent versus non-consent topic when apparently Pinkchu brings it up. And then on top of that, Pinkchu apparently just being gaslit with a whiteboard, or is she truly that stupid she needs a whiteboard? You know? You don't know. You will never know. That's why stuff like this is always going to be in a gray area of she said, he said. And on top of that, because this is a civil court, this is not a criminal, like, case. You know what I mean? There's also that basically lessening the significance of this. So a lot of people, I think, if they're on TECTONE's side, they will say Pinkchu is simply hateful for the fact that she got seemingly used by TECTONE. And when TECTONE left, no harsh feelings, she felt very hateful and wanted to bring him down. And now she is basically backtracking on all the quote-unquote consensual freaky sex that they had and trying to degrade him in court. And she won in court. Because apparently, civil court like this, there's more empathy towards the victim. And there's a bias there in the culture. Therefore, even if TECTONE loses this case in civil court, that it was the likely scenario, and this does not defame TECTONE. Is a lot of the talking points that I've been hearing from the pro-TECTONE crowd. The other side is, TECTONE truly was manipulating this girl that was in a fucked up power dynamic in a house where, again, could she have just left? Maybe. Was she deeply rooted? Was she maybe truly in love with TECTONE? I mean, it seems like she got kind of baited of this whole blowjob maid service, right? This cosplay blowjob simulator every day seemed to bank on the fact that this would turn and convert into a real relationship, but it didn't. And she was desperately in love, and she felt very weird on a lot of the things that TECTONE was pushing to the limits, and now it's coming out like this. I don't know. I don't know. It's just two consenting adults having freaky sex and then having regrets after? I don't know. Next up is some more background stuff, right? So this is kind of his roadmap. More said in courtroom over 7 hours. Highlights not full. Rest will be on Monday, Tuesday with transcripts, right? This is some extra context he's trying to provide. He used OTK power, saying he could get wetter deals and stay with Mystic Talent. He said, and I quote, "It would be good for me to have a hot cosplay girl living in the house." And you know what? Yeah, probably. That is just good business. So again, more things that I guess he's promising Pink Chu on top of the real relationship they would be having maybe if she kept going with the freaky stuff. So all she had to do live there was for free is edit pictures and thumbnails. Then it turned into suck my dick for free rent. I felt disgusted. He treated me like a blowjob machine. She claimed he made her degrade herself, saying, "If you do this, we will have a normal relationship." Try to make her sign an NDA, but she refused. So the NDA part, let's think about this. I personally think that TECTONE is freaky, and it was smart of him to offer the NDA in case things went wrong. You're gonna call me an asshole for this, but this is what happens a lot in real life, especially when fame and clout chasing is involved, right? I think TECTONE was trying to push the bound as much as he wants while trying to accommodate Pink Chu's comfort levels to the absolute limit. And she was kind of given an ultimatum. He wanted to obviously have all of the cosplay blowjob services, but at the same time, didn't want this to blow up in his face, therefore offered an NDA, and then she refused. She tried paying rent because he said, "You don't pay rent, get to work." Basically saying, "You don't pay rent, suck my dick." At that point, I think she should leave. But I guess she's stuck in a toxic relationship. This shows that she has the financial capabilities to simply move out of the house. I know that a lot of people will say, haha, that's like telling a homeless person just get a house. But looking by this, she had the capability to pay rent. But he said, nah, get to work. But obviously, is that just a joke being taken out of context? Was that a hyperbole? I don't know. It became the point that she felt blowjobs were an obligation. During the time she got her boobs done, she said she couldn't do anything, but he became very upset, unruly. So one day he grabbed her by the shoulders and put her face in his crotch and started jerking off, told her to open up. Apparently, he would record her without her permission while he made her satisfy him and threatened to leak it. Didn't we just talk about in the transcript though about how everything was basically, when recording, Pink Chu was okay with it? You know what I mean? So now it's kind of wishy-washy. The transcript in the court, TECTONE literally, and that's the other thing too. Could TECTONE simply just be lying? Is Mizkif lying? Who's lying here? He claimed on stream he was a streamer with the blowjob machine. He called her the most forward woman he's ever met, calling her a whore. He has schizophrenia. He would say, "I'll see a face," and just melting. Oh, okay. Indicated he was a... What? After her tweet. Her tweet never mentioned him by name. Okay, the whole pedo thing, I think is a bit ridiculous. I think there's an extreme reach happening with the connection with lolly anime content. Like, if you truly think a person is an actual pedophile for consuming lolly content in gacha or anime related stuff, I think you're ridiculous. Could a Lakari situation happen from those type of crowds? Yes. But how likely is it that everyone is the type of person? I don't want to generalize an entire group. So again, just kind of more name calling. Her tweet never mentioned him by name. He tweeted her name and said it on stream. Claimed he got death threats by the 1,000 from her tweet. So opposing lawyer said, "You're sure it's from that and not from your racist transphobic rants on Twitter and Twitch?" TECTONE definitely has been kind of going down that, like, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of wild to see him unfold in the last couple of months. Like, I think he actually hates gay people too. You know what I mean? And I think it's his brand change with the Christian, you know, the whole Christian MAGA flavor, you know, the God-fearing Christian, you know, conservative white man, you know, living in that kind of brand, right? I think that's kind of why he's been really on these rants about like LGBT issues. This is a quote after showing a few small tweets of being called names. Poll last second tweets. Could have probably got more. I only spent 50 minutes. Laura replied, we've been in this position for over whatever. And you spent only 50 minutes searching for tweets. TECTONE responded, and I quote, yes. Kind of showing like, I guess that TECTONE didn't do his due diligence and didn't, you know, be prepared for this shit. Okay, whatever. This is just kind of extra background context. He defended his rants by saying when a content creator in our space gets these accusations, they have to pivot content to stay relevant. Then he brought up Hassan saying how he liked to shock his dog. Shoutouts to Kaya, bro! Kaya made it to court! Yo, I'm telling you, man, that was a shock collar. True! They talked a lot about how he used to record it without her permission and how he threatened to leak those as the big nukes if she didn't receive her claims about him. The judge said he better delete in all videos and pictures he might still have of her. Judge was angry as fuck after hearing it all. Just 1 second. I just have a hard time understanding in TECTONE's mind, like how he thinks this is a good idea to like shut her down using revenge porn, right? Because like, the whole case right now, right? The only way, the charitable way of looking at this is Pink-Chu's crashing out because she's just resentful, right? This is like a very resentful employee that got abused, pretty much, still kind of playing in the rules, but definitely pushed to the limits, and now basically got fired and wants to fucking crash out on their employer, right? So when TECTONE built up in the transcript saying every recording session was seemingly with consent and that she wanted this and there was not a single time she said no, right? To now saying he used the recorder without her permission, this is the tricky stuff. It's like, how do you possibly capture this as a fact? When tensions are high and adrenaline is rushing back in the day and maybe feelings were involved, you might think it's consent. Because like, how many times have you had, you know, girls just like have consensual sex and then crash out later because of other drama and said, no, I got raped, and guys got fucked up for it, right? That's why there's a big, you know, opposition to the Me Too movement or leave all victims, right? Because there has absolutely been cases where shit like that's happened. That's why even in this case, right, with Pink-Chu, it's like, what's the incentives lining up? How likely is it that she's the one lying or TECTONE's the one lying? Are they both lying? All right, what is there? There's a little bit more of the bottom text. Judge claimed they found sufficient evidence to think he did commit sexual assault. That he is ordered to remove, delete any, get rid of any and if all pictures, basically porn content in his phone without that he took without her permission, and even with or he will face criminal charges. He is forced to pay her attorney around $50,000. The protective order is for 10 years. And the 10 years is kind of crazy. He can't own a gun or ammunition. He must stay 200. And by the way, the gun stuff is basically because of the 10-year thing. So I did a little bit of, this isn't research, right? Come on. We're just chat GPTing this, okay? So I need you to realize we're literally on chat GPT, okay? How true is any of this? But let's just have some context, right? A person in Texas has gone to civil courts regarding sexual assault allegations, and the outcome was the person receiving a court order. Wait, but it's basically like person losing the court, you know, the court, you know, with a civil court order of 10 years of no guns. How significant is this? Is this like, give me a rating out of 10 of how bad this is? A chat source chat GPT. Protective order? My bad. Source right now, chat GPT. I'm a lawyer, guys. Civil court laws for sexual assault. This means a judge or jury found it liable, not criminal guilty, but still legally responsible. This standard is preponderance of the evidence more likely than not. So I want to bring some tweets up from other people that are in defense of TECTONE, explaining why these tweets are actually bullshit. Not tweets. Basically, like, why a civil court order, like losing this shit, is actually like very insignificant, okay? Let's look at this. Basically, there's like a couple of, yeah, this account. I'm just not showing you on screen right now because I'm afraid of the potential NSFW content. 1 second, 1 second. 1 second. Ah, here it is. So TECTONE, as of yesterday, you know, has made some additional extra tweets, right? Just for clarity's sake, yeah, I'll be talking about everything when I get back to streaming, but when is he getting back to streaming? I don't know. The elephant in the room will be addressed. This account is on every single TECTONE tweet, just fucking doing thank yous. This is like the Legion Gaming for TECTONE account I've noticed for Chibi. This dude is everywhere just doing thank you. And here's the context, right? Since there are no criminal cases, I expect the whole drama to be relatively tame. Civil protection order cases are pretty lopsided, as in there's a bias towards the victim. And most people with a bit of legal knowledge pretty much know which way it was going to go, regardless of the evidence. So the idea here is, this case was always going to be an L for TECTONE no matter what. The fact that it's not a criminal case means that it is insignificant, and all the outcome is meaningless because this is how the game was meant to be. So for everyone who are saying where this is false, I'll tell you how easy it is to get one. You and one other person make false information about the person. You and friend make fake text and show them to the judge. It's that easy. How do I know? Because I have a PPO and show text. You have a PPO, of course, it's a TECTONE defender. What are you talking about, EP or TRO? Again, why didn't Emira do that? Makes sense. As in, like, this guy is glazing TECTONE no matter fucking what. Cope. It was tame rape. The court docs are going to be juice. Sure, if by most people you mean an AI and by you mean the answer you get after 500 specific questions. Mega Cope needs to reset your radar. Amber Heard lost the civil case. I didn't see a defender. Emerald Apple was a rape tone found all along, bookmarking and screenshotting all this, and basically this Texas Protective Order, Civil Court Order. Texas Protective Order is civil court orders that can shield victims of family violence, sexual assault, stalking, trafficking, or burglary from their abuser. A judgment issue, a temporary ex parte EPO immediately after an arrest for relevant crime. The EPO lasts within 28 days. I don't know, right? Like, what the fuck do I know about this shit? I'm just here fucking asking ChatGPT. 10-year no guns court order. This is not normal for a routine civil loss. Courts don't hand out decade-long firearm prohibitions lightly. This usually indicates the judge believes a person poses a risk to others, conduct was considered severe, credible, ongoing. There may have been aggravating factors, real-world consequences, blah, blah, blah. Even though it's only civil court, a court order, how bad is it? 8 out of 10. Yo. I can't believe we went from rating fucking anime episodes to rating how bad is a fucking court case. Okay, so why is it an 8.5? But 8.5 is pretty elite. This is like A1 Picture is, you know, Cloverworks, like that kind of territory. You know what I mean? Like, we're not dealing with fucking JC staff, okay? We're not dealing with fucking Studio 8K. We're not dealing with the rinky-dink fucking isekai. This is like a solid, like a great anime of the season. This is the rating scale, okay? Here's why it's not a full 10. It's not a criminal conviction, no prison sentence. Here's why it's still 6. Because sexual assault finding, long-term loss of a constitutional right, blah, 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 blah. Again, what the fuck does this mean, right? Again, it's just ChatGPT, right? You gonna really believe ChatGPT? I don't fucking know, but I want more information and people to correct me and come up with more context of why this is significant or not. Because a lot of people, of course, they're gonna be writing for TECTONE and say, no, it's insignificant. But like, I want to approach the objective truth. Like, I'm not on anyone's side. I want to know what the fuck is happening to my favorite gacha content creator that has gone AFK saying he will vindicate himself, yet it's looking fucking bad. Where else are we? 50,000 that he has to pay the attorney, right? 10 years of protective order. He can't own guns or ammunitions. He must stay 200 yards away from her. If they happen to be in the same place at the same time by accident, he must leave immediately. He cannot contact her, talk about her, or have other people talk to her. And this is the thing. So how do you possibly defend yourself if you're TECTONE when you have a protective order that lasts 10 years that also states that you can't talk about her? You know what I mean? Like, take away your biases for either of the parties here. How can you defend yourself when you can't talk about this person for 10 fucking years? Or else it might, like, if you basically break a protective order, I hear that it can escalate into criminal charges. So, like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? Nothing, right? So I fail to see how TECTONE could simply just like explain his situation out of this. There's no way that he can actually get out of this. He's kind of just put it on the spot, and the transcripts are going to come out. And a lot of memes are obviously going to be passing around regarding what's going on with TECTONE, right? And then Mizkif basically spent the rest of the stream just kind of just talking shit and saying, haha, I won. How do you guys feel about this? If the transcripts come out and they basically list everything that Mizkif said to be true, which again, I find it very hard to believe that he would lie about this. If Mizkif was so fucking retarded to make shit up because of his hate for TECTONE when he is already in such a shitty position, this would undermine him even more. I would argue that because it's Mizkif, in this specific context of whatever baggage that he has to be straight. He has to be locked in. And for TECTONE, the only defense is basically just, what is it? It's literally benefit of the doubt. The only thing you can do at this point is, yeah, I lost in court because the judges are rigged against the victims. Like that AI account said, there is no way that these civil court cases were ever going to be in my favor. Therefore, like, I'm in no wrong. And Pinkchu basically is a resentful employee that basically got fired. And now she's trying to crash out and drag me down because she's a hateful bitch. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And I think throughout the next couple of days, Mizkif will be releasing more chapters about the transcripts. I want to see if they're real. But even if they're fucking real, right? Like, this whole notion of consent versus no consent, did he rape her or not? It's so fucking hard to judge what the truth is. And that's why it's a gray area. It's a gray area, and it's going to be up to just the court of public opinion. But when you lose in a court like this, and when you've had all this stinky mess kind of following you, or regarding all the controversies and dramas, and he's come out on top, right? And that's why I've been really enjoying TECTONE's content, that no matter how much of a mess that he's gotten in, he somehow rose to the top by using receipts in those gacha stuff, right? Regarding enviosity, regarding Atsu. But this feels like TECTONE's greatest battle that I don't know if he can win.